Tracking. The Tracking tab is the main tab for monitoring the progress of projects, tasks, sprints, etc. The tab is divided into 5 project tracking screens arranged by management methodology, Scrum, Agile, or Waterfall. You can track Waterfall projects with Scrum project screens and vice versa. For example, you can also create a Gantt chart for a Scrum project, etc. Taskboard screen. In this screen you can plan and update tasks status using the taskboard. In Scrum Agile projects, this screen also serves as sprint planning and can be used to create tasks for user stories. At the top of the screen you can select the board you wish to view by selecting the client, project, sprint or milestone in the team and clicking the Refresh List button. The board in the center of the screen is divided into 5 columns. First column, Backlog column. You can choose between 3 backlog types using the combo box. Project Backlog will display the stories and tasks that are in the project's backlog box and have not been placed on the task board. The same is true for Sprint and Team Backlog. Backlog without stories or tasks will appear empty. Tasks can be created for user stories in the backlog, primarily for use in Scrum Agile projects during sprint planning. Clicking the plus button or right mouse button to open the pop-up menu in User Story Items and clicking Add Task will pop up the Add Task window. You can add tasks to the task board by dragging the tasks or stories into the appropriate column. Dragging a user story with multiple tasks will be displayed on the task board as a user story box spread along the 4 columns, To Do, In Progress, Reopened, and Closed. Story tasks items will be displayed within the story box with task name, difficulty level, task type, bug or task, user point and an image of the employee to which the task is assigned. The name of the story appears above the tasks, so is the story's priority. You can drag tasks between the different columns. User stories without tasks will appear as a red story box. The task board is displayed on the planning screen in the same location as selected in the combo boxes, and you can edit, modify, and add items to it on the planning screen as well. To view more details about task, you can click the plus button next to the task item or right-click on the task item with the mouse. In the pop-up menu you can see extra details about the task such as estimated time, percentage of progress, description, etc. Each employee can manually edit his progress percentage of the task. You can automatically track the progress of the tasks by using the automatic time tracking system in the management menu, and you can learn more about automatic time tracking system in the tracking system videos. If the automatic tracking system is enabled, you can set a task as a primary task. This task will be marked with a special icon on the task board and will appear highlighted on the latest tasks panel. This indication appears only on the station in which the primary task was set, and other station will only see indicators if they have also set up primary tasks for monitoring. Press X to close the extended view window. Permissions. Each user can only see the relevant task board according to their permission. Also, the type of project affects the options that can be performed on the screen. For example, in a Scrum Agile project, a Scrum Master user who wants to drag a task from the backlog to the board will be warned that it is recommended that this action be performed by one of the team members rather than the Scrum Master, because the team members are the ones committed to the task. The same goes for the creation of tasks within user stories in Scrum Agile projects are usually done by members of the team, and a user without permissions will receive the appropriate warning. An employee without administrative privileges will only see the task board screen to update and monitor the team's tasks. Burn down screen. This screen can track the progress of the sprint in a burn down chart. To view the chart, select the customer, project, sprint or milestone and group information in the filters at the top of the screen. You can also choose between a classic graph view based on points that is suitable for Scrum Agile projects, or a time graph that shows progress in time that is left on the graph each day. This option is more suitable for waterfall projects. The upper half of the screen shows a table with a list of tasks calculated in the chart with the relevant information, task estimated time, task status, end date and number of user points of the task. The lower half of the screen presents the burn down chart. On the x-axis we see the days of the iteration, sprint or milestones. On the y-axis we see the user points that are left in the iteration at that day. Every day that a task gets closed is represented by a green dot. On the days where no tasks are closed, the dot will be painted red. Moving the mouse over a green dot will show the list of tasks that were closed on that day as well as the number of user points left from that day until the end of the graph. The purple line is the average velocity line and will always be marked from the top left corner of the graph to the bottom right corner. Navigation. To pan, press Ctrl plus left button. To zoom, press Shift plus scroll wheel. To perform a zoom on area, press Alt plus left button. To view a mini-map, click the arrows button on the bottom right of the screen. You can select an automatic zoom from the presets buttons. Time tracking screen. This screen enables you to track work hours, the time devoted to each mission, viewing screenshots and much more. To select the time board you want to view, select filters at the top of the screen. The date of the report, the user or client for whom you want to generate the report, selecting a job report on tasks, or a general work report hours. Click Generate Charts to generate the report. In the top left of the report, you can see a bar chart of the list of windows or tasks on which the most time was spent on the selected date range. On the upper right side you can see the same data in a pie chart. The lower right section displays the list of work items that the system recorded within the selected time range. If the screenshot system is enabled on the system settings screen, you can view the screenshots for each item by clicking with the left mouse button on the item. You can delete a screenshot by clicking the delete button above the image. You can delete a recorded work item by pressing the delete detected work item button. Deleted item cannot be recovered. On the left side of the report you can see a range chart showing the work items on 24 hours timeline for each day that exists within the selected date range. You can scroll the graph to view each day separately. Work items associated with tasks will color with the color that was selected for the task. Work items that are not associated with tasks will be painted black. You can select and assign unassigned items to a task. You can also add work time to a task manually by checking the area, selecting the task and checking the Add Custom Time checkbox. Navigation. To pan, press Ctrl plus left button. To zoom, press Shift plus scroll wheel. To perform a zoom on area, press Alt plus left button. To view a mini-map, click the arrows button on the bottom right of the screen. You can select an automatic zoom from the presets buttons. Gantt chart. In this screen you can plan the execution times for tasks in the Gantt graph. At the top of the screen you select the client, project and milestone or sprint and press the general Gantt chart button to display the chart. If you leave the milestone filter empty, the graph will be displayed for the entire project. The Gantt is divided into days that can be seen on the days legend at the top. If a budget is set for milestone or for the project, plus price per hour is set for the client, the budget bar will be displayed below the day's legend. The budget bar shows how many tasks will be covered by the current budget from the start time. The budget is calculated by task estimated time and not by the range of time to perform the task specified in the graph. The budget bar can be moved by clicking on the right side of the bar and dragging. Dragging the budget bar will recalculate the budget to include all the tasks to its left. This enables you to plan a budget according to the estimated duration of the tasks. You can change a task's time range by dragging the task on its right side. You can set a start time range by dragging the task to a desired time. You can create dependencies between tasks by dragging a task on another task. To separate dependencies, right-clicking with the mouse and clicking on Bind will separate the dependency of the task. Each task in the graph is colored in the chosen task color. The percentage of progress in the task is divided into two. Progress by manual reporting. Progress by the automatic tracking of the time tracking system. If a manual report is not entered but the automatic time tracking monitors windows that are linked to the task, the progress bar will be displayed according to the automatic tracking. If manual progress is entered into the task, the manual progress will be displayed by default. To view both progress bars, hover over the task item with the mouse. Navigation. To pan, press Ctrl plus left button. To zoom, press Shift plus scroll wheel. To perform a zoom on area, press Alt plus left button. To view a mini-map, click the arrows button on the bottom right of the screen. You can select an automatic zoom from the presets buttons. Summary report screen. This screen can generate work hours reports for a client or an employee. In the top menu you can select a work report for the employee or a work report for the client. The report start and end time range, and type of report. A general report of all recorded work items. A report only on recorded work on tasks. To create the report, click the Create Report button. You can see the list of tasks worked on and the number of work hours, or the list of windows on which there was work plus number of work hours for each day. To print the report, click the Print button to open the print window.